Hello everybody, I'm Megan and welcome back to Guide to Girlhood. Today we're going to be talking about a super important topic, health. If we aren't taking care of our health, we can't show up for ourselves or other people, so it's super important. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's first talk about mental health. Mental health arguably is probably the most important thing that you need to take care of. According to the National Institution of Mental Health, 1 in 5 U.S. adults live with a mental illness. And young adults aged 18 to 25 years had the highest prevalence of a mental illness, 36.2%, compared to adults aged 26 to 49 years, which their percentage was 29.4%. I feel like the rise of social media has really increased the prevalence of mental illness in our society. When you're scrolling on your phone all day, you're just constantly seeing unrealistic standards and expectations, and that can really take a toll on your mental health. Let's talk about some tips of things that you can do to improve and better your mental health. The first tip I have is to really take time to get to know yourself. For example, I know that I tend to get more sad in the wintertime than summer, and so during the winter I just really try and do things that are going to boost my mental health in other ways. The next tip I have is to simply just take time to yourself and just take time to relax. This could really just be taking the time to do anything that you enjoy. For example, I've started to either color or read before I go to bed, and I feel like that just really helps me unwind and relax from the stress of the day, and so that I can get a good night's sleep. Which goes into my next tip of making sleep a priority. The average adult needs about 8 hours of sleep per night, and so it's really important that you get that, because if you're not, you're just gonna feel groggy and cranky and your mood is just gonna decrease, which could also lead to your mental health decreasing as well. Another tip I have is to get outside. Like I mentioned earlier, I am such a summer person, and so the winter is so hard for me. And literally last week I was just having such a bad week, and it was finally 70 degrees outside, so I decided to just go sit outside for like 30 minutes, and I felt immediately better. Another tip I have is to practice gratitude, and this tip actually comes from the National Institute of Mental Health. I personally need to work on including this in my daily routine, but I know my mom does this and she says it has helped a ton. But as always, it is so important to seek medical help when you need, whether that's through a counselor, a friend, or a doctor. Please get the help that you need if you are struggling mentally. And the final tip I have is exercising. Exercising releases so many different endorphins and overall just makes you feel a lot better and improves your mood. And that tip brings us into our next section of health, physical health. Everyone's bodies are different, and that is one of the things that I wish I had realized so much sooner. I wish I realized that my body is gonna look differently than others, and it might not work the same as others, and that's okay. I started going to the gym about a year ago, and I got really frustrated because I wasn't seeing the kind of results that I wanted to see. I wanted to build muscle in my arms and legs, and I was looking at everyone else in the gym and I was comparing myself, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? Turns out though, I was seeing results in different ways. And this was really damaging because I was just comparing myself to others, so I didn't appreciate those results. Mayo Clinic recommends that the average healthy adult should aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate physical activity every day. This could be weightlifting, walking, swimming, anything like that. As long as you're moving your body, I feel like that is just the most important thing. This 30 minutes of exercise, though, can be hard for young adults who are in school or working, or overall just living a busy life. Lindsay Back is a certified NASM personal trainer at a local gym, as well as her private gym and her business online. She's also currently doing continued education that is targeted to women's specific conditions. She says that she has seen social media impacting people's physical health. The positive is that people are taking health into their own hands, and there's so much information available that is easily accessible. The negative, though, is that this information isn't always accurate. That is why it's important to access reliable sources or consult a personal trainer like Lindsay. And now here are some tips on how to feel your best physically. The biggest way that we can take care of our health is by what we eat. As a college student, I feel like it is so hard to eat healthy and to not rely on fast food all the time because of the convenience. Lindsay is actually a mom to a college student, and she always encourages her daughter to meal prep. Lindsay says that if you are strategic with the foods you buy and lean proteins, you can usually stay within a pretty reasonable budget. Lindsay also recommends avoiding soda shops and coffee shops. I love soda shops. That way you'll have more cash to put towards healthier options like beef jerky or apples that are grab and go ready. The next way to improve your physical health is obviously by working out. Lindsay's advice is to be clear with your goals and make sure they are reasonable. She also says it's important to be patient with the process, saying that it could take up to 3 months to see a change physically. It's important to have a clear understanding of weight-bearing exercises and to not go up to heavier weights too soon. For me, I try to do some sort of physical activity every day, whether that's just walking the dog. I also like to do workouts at home. There are so many different videos on YouTube and programs as well for free that are easy to follow along and do. But yeah, those are all my tips for both mental and physical health. It's so important though to seek help when needed and know you're not alone in any battle you face. I hope this video inspired you to grow into the best version of yourself with me. Let's do this together. I'll see you in the next video when we talk about finances. Bye!